most amazing voices in Christian music.
That's so kind. Thank you.
And you had that scare with the voice there for a while,
Yeah.
where you weren't totally sure what was going to happen. How did that feel?
Yeah, back in 2013, I had to cancel a tour because I just could not get through 2 songs. Even my talking voice was barely there. We flew home, found out I had a polyp, a bleeding polyp on my vocal cord, which isn't, it happens to some singers, but when it happens to you,
right,
and that's your livelihood, and what I found out is like, I was placing a lot of my identity, a lot of what I thought people liked about. I thought, man, people like me, they welcome me, they applaud for me because I can sing. And if I don't have that, who am I? I kind of felt lost in it all. But you know what? I'm so thankful for that time in my life because it was really like God dealt with things inside of me, insecurity, fear of man, needing man's approval, making me realize in a whole new way what it means to be loved by him and my identity in him. So now looking back, I wouldn't trade that. It was literally 2 months of silence. I wasn't allowed to speak or talk as it was healing the surgery. So I got a little bit down in the dumps, but somewhere right in the middle, God showed up and spoke to me his Father's heart over me and reminded me I'm his child. And so being able to grow and learn and the fruit from that moment of that my identity is not first a singer or first, or whatever I thought it was. My identity first and foremost is child of God, saved, forgiven, set free, headed for heaven. And to really grow and live in that, the security of that has been life-changing. It really changed my career. That's when I really started writing worship songs for the church and really realized what my heart wanted to do the whole time.
That's amazing. And sometimes our challenges are what, put us on the right path. I mean, and
100%.
Praise God, your voice came back, and you're where you are.
I know, praise God. I mean, that's in the Bible, right? Like that.
Yeah.
And the good things are awesome. It's when we celebrate God. But look at all the stories.
Yeah.
In the fire, God is there. In the rain, in the storm. That's when we really see his presence in our life.
Yeah. Can you hang out a few more?
All right.
All right. Sounds good. Z88.3, it's 11:43. I'm Dan. We're talking today with Phil Wickham. And Phil, I ran into a friend here at this conference we're at in Orlando today.
Yeah.
And I mentioned I was going to be talking to you today. And she said, ask him about the dog. Okay, what's his story with the dog?
Oh, my goodness. The dog story's gotten around. Okay, in 2020, we all know what happened. I'm in California. We're a little bit extra locked down than maybe you were in Florida,
okay,
out here in Florida. And so we need something to brighten our day. My kids are like, can we please get a dog? My wife looks around. She finds out, okay, golden doodles are supposed to be these great dogs. I get a little bit allergic to dogs.
Oh.
They're supposed to be hypoallergenic. Let's get a golden doodle. They're really hard to find, but my wife, one day, this breeder pops online, and she has all these golden doodle puppies. And we're like, wow. And the story is that they were all taken, but because of the pandemic, she can't ship them. You got to come check them out. And so I go down. I drive about 20 minutes away from the house. We're in San Diego, and I check out this dog. It's awesome. It's cute. It's brown. It's cuddly. It's small. Like, all right, we're gonna get it.
Once you see the dog, you can't.
You can't hold the dog. Be like, nah, I just don't want you. And so we bring back this cute puppy. The kids are so pumped. It's a beautiful golden brown. Anyways, so a couple weeks go by, and the puppy gets a little bigger. But what's weird is the hair starts falling out. And we're like, that's strange. And she's itching, scratching herself all the time. And we find as all her hair falls out, she looks like this little rat with all these bumps over her, and she's just itchy. And we're just like, maybe she's just getting her adult dog fur. I don't know what's going on. But then all of a sudden, as the days go by, my son, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together yet, my son breaks out in this rash all over his body. I mean, it looked crazy.
Like an allergy or?
Well, we didn't know.
Yeah.
We looked all around. I mean, and you go to WebMD and you find like the worst possible thing it could be, and we're like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then, so we take him to the doctor, and they're like, we don't know what this is. And they send us to another doctor, Meanwhile, my wife's arm breaks out in this rash, and then my daughter's arm breaks out in this rash. We're like, what is going on? And then my dog's fur starts growing back in.
Okay.
But it's white. And we're like, wait, this is a golden doodle, and it had brown hair. Why is it white hair now? And our family's breaking out in this crazy thing. It's middle of 2020, and all of a sudden, so we go to this one veterinarian, and they're like, hey, did you just get this dog? And we're like, yeah. And they said, well, we think this dog has mange, and your family has mange.
Oh,
and so this dog is given mange to our whole family. It's the middle of 2020. And then we realize we get this text on Facebook. Someone reaches out to my wife and says, hey, did you buy a dog from this breeder? And we're like, yes. And they're like, okay, this breeder was a fraud.
Oh, no.
And she's been getting dogs from Tijuana and dyeing them brown and selling them as golden doodles. And so we had a mutt dog, and a bunch of mange, but now the dog's great.
What a story.
So that's our story, but she's great now. The dog Rue.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Z88.3, that's Great Things. Phil Wickham is sitting right next to me right now. We're in Orlando at a Christian music conference. We have Phil in the studio with us. I'm glad your dog is okay. That's that was my takeaway from that story. I mean, I'm
my
sorry
goodness.
what you went
She's
through. But.
Yeah, her little Rue. That's her name, Rue. She became my dog. I love her. And what's funny is like the next week we saw on San Diego News they literally did an expose on this breeder that sold us the dog. She left town. Bunch of people were angry. We were kind of happy because we got a dog we love, but wild story.
It did good. That's the best thing about it. Now, I'm a Florida guy. I've been in Florida my entire life. You apparently are the same way in California. You've been in California since you were born.
Yeah, I was born in San Diego, lived in Orange County for a while, but back in San Diego since I was 12 years old, and we still live there today.
And what sets the California praise and worship scene apart from other parts of the country in your mind?
Maybe it used to be different back in the day, but I mean, because of social media, it's like in some ways the world's gotten so small.
Right.
And now I can, I'm doing this for so long. I'm buddies with Brandon Lake over in Charleston and Chris Brown at Elevation Worship or the Bethel people up in Redding. And so when an idea comes to mind, it's like, man, I bet Chris over at Elevation would kill this ride. So I'll send him an idea, a voice memo.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of riding together now.
Yeah, people are right there on the other end of a computer. It's not like
it's amazing.
You're not separated by the distance.
I don't have to fly to him. And so the world has gotten really small. And so maybe a while ago there was a difference between California and out here, but now it's just like one big family writing together for the church.
That's awesome.
And man, so happy and privileged and can't even believe it that I get to be a part of like this global movement of worship.
You and Brandon Lake have been all over together.
I know. He's one of my best friends. I love that guy. He kind of brings the wild child out of me a little bit. I don't know if you saw it. We did we just announced these summer worship nights happening around the country in August. But we thought like, what's the craziest thing we could do to announce it? And we literally made a summer worship nights parasail. And we're out here on the waters outside. We went to Miami. And we went about 400 feet up in the sky with a GoPro, and that's where we announced it. And it's just, that's what Brandon Lake will do to you right there.
Yeah, he'll have you doing crazy things you never thought of before, of course. Would you say that music is the language that you sort of grew your relationship with Jesus?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I grew up in a Christian home, but I also grew up in a musical home. My parents have been worship leaders as long as I've been alive. And so when I was 12, learned how to play guitar, I knew God, and I was a Christian, and I could quote all the John 3:16s and Psalm 23, but that's where I came to know God as my friend, as loving His presence. Was sitting in my room, junior high, young guy, just singing these songs of worship to God is where I fell in love with His presence.
That's awesome. Phil Wickham, thank you for taking time out today to talk to us. Always fun talking to you, and I hope we'll get to do it again real soon.
You too, sir. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Enjoy Orlando.
Right.